Hi, I'm Zach Grant from Navarre, Florida, and this is my 1970 Volvo 144. So I picked up this car I guess it's about a year and a half ago now. It started its life as an autocross car up in the Pacific Northwest where everybody's into old Volvos and weird stuff like that. It was an immaculately clean car. There was an article on Bring a Trailer. It wasn't auctioned, but it was when the original builder was trying to sell it, he posted on there, and there's some, amazing photos of the car. It was immaculate, perfect paint, perfect everything, and he got done with it and put it in a storage unit because he had life get in the way. After sitting there a while, he decided to try to sell it again, and another gentleman bought it and decided he was going to build a road course car out of it. He was just doing HPDs, stuff like that, wanted to start, going to do bigger things. Sadly, he passed away, and I ended up buying the car from his wife. When I picked it up, it was a bit half done. The roll cage in it was done by a drag shop. It wasn't set up for road race at all. The seat was way outdated. The harnesses were terrible. The car didn't run great. It was leaking oil everywhere. Typical car that's been sitting forever that somebody's just trying to put back together. So we yanked the whole drivetrain out of the car, regasketed everything, tried to learn some about it because there wasn't a whole lot of info when we first picked it up from the wife because she wasn't into cars, didn't know what was going on with it. When we pulled everything out, we found a lot of really nice parts in the car, a lot of old school Volvo performance stuff that you can't even get your hands on anymore, which is a good and bad because now if I break it, I'm kind of screwed. But it has fenders that are supposedly Volvo production. They're fiberglass fenders without the corner lights and all, like what they ran on their rally cars back in the day. It also has a fiberglass hood and trunk. Came to me like that, fully gutted, Swiss cheesed. Currently the car weighs 2,040 pounds without driver. Luckily, the second guy that owned it went ahead and did some of the big safety stuff, like he got the skeleton of the cage in there, got the fuel cell sorted, got everything good enough to at least go to an HPD weekend. But my plan was to go wheel-to-wheel racing. And once we got the car sorted, or started to get the car sorted, I realized I needed to give myself a deadline or it was going to take forever, and decided that the Grid Life Touring Cup at Road Atlanta was a good starting point. So got the car slapped together just in time, took it up there. The car performed way better than I was expecting it to out of the box. It's a 50-year-old race car. But it was, back of the pack contender, which honestly in that series, it's fun no matter what. It's great that, Jabay and Giles have put together such a great series that you can go out there in something like a 1970 Volvo and have people to play with, come out of the weekend with a smile on your face. It's a great series. I definitely recommend trying it out if you have any interest in wheel-to-wheel racing and any experience outside of that. So as far as setup goes on this car, it's still a stock unibody, which means 50-year-old Volvo. They were, known to be a bit of tanks, but it's still going to be floppy and not very stiff, which the roll cage helps with that. It's just a 6-point, pretty bare bones, what'll meet SCCA, NASA, Grid Life standards. As far as handling goes, the previous owner built a custom Watts-Link setup on this thing. It's got full tubular adjustable rear end setup, all Heim jointed. There's not a single piece of rubber in this suspension. It's got IPD sway bars front and rear. The rear is adjustable. The front end is actually all circle track components where you have the upright welded onto the top of the frame, of the subframe, and then the upper A-arms just bolt. They're the standard 6-inch on center A-arms, so it's pretty easy to change stuff out, dial it in. Honestly, it worked really well out of the box. We just got done swapping a bunch of parts to get more alignment adjustability, which seems to help the steering feel some, but other than that, it just kind of works. The motor in this car, it's a period correct, I do not believe it's the original motor, but it is a period correct Volvo B20, which is an iron block, iron head, non-cross flow, push rod, 2-valve, 4-cylinder. It's about as basic as you can get for that time frame. Now, the cool thing about it is a lot of people did race these back in the day, so you can get a lot of hop-up parts. It's got twin Weber DCOE 40 carbs on it, which we had to completely retune when we got a hold of it. It's got a tri-Y 421 header. It's got everything in it to support a big cam. It's got cut down valve guides, it's got lowered valve spring seats, it's got double valve springs, it's got chromoly push rods, Chevy lifters, but sadly it has a bone stock cam in it currently. So that's next on the list, is to put a proper cam. Innom makes an awesome piece that it's like a 312 degree duration. pretty high lift, should really make this car sing, because currently the rev limiter is set at 7,000 RPM and it does not make power the whole way there, so we need to fix that. My goal with it was to turn it into a die-hard road course car, because I already have an autocross car. I have a DSP RX-8 as well, and this thing's never going to be super competitive in the autocross setting, but it is a lot of fun on track, and I wanted to work towards getting my competition license and other sanctioning bodies and all, and figured this is a perfect track time car. It's cheap to run, nothing really breaks on it so far. As far as switching, we're here autocrossing with it this weekend, but as far as switching between autocross and road course, there's not really much we did. We threw a little more toe out in it than I'd run on track, but other than that, it just works. We do need to put different gears in it at some point for road course, because I'm on rev limiter on the back straight of Road Atlanta, but that'll get fixed too. So going into this season, we actually have a sponsor helping us out get cars, fixed up in 2 events. It's Murder Creek Distillery. We also have a YouTube channel. It's called Featured Garage. We also have an Instagram and Facebook and all that other stuff. Check it out. We don't have a whole lot of content with this car on it yet, but my buddy has an LS swapped Mark III Supra that he drifts, as well as now a 350Z that's basically stock, which is going to be his seat time car for drifting. If you're thinking about getting an old car to go road racing or autocrossing with, something that's already mostly done, I highly recommend it. Getting something like this, like a 50-year-old Volvo, is really a cost-effective way to get into it. The buy-in price is typically low because most people aren't seeking them out, and it's already sorted. You pick something up and it works for the most part. You might have to do some tweaks to make it yours, but all in all, I think it's a good decision.
Support brands that support Grassroots Motorsports. Get your chemical solutions from CRC Industries. Visit crcindustries.com to learn more.